The big thing I want to know is, will Skynet stop at nothing?
Hey guys, welcome back to WeWatchEDAMovie. I'm Mike.
I'm Jay.
And we are here in the middle of Nebraska.
Obviously.
Actually, this is not even fucking corn. It doesn't make sense. It's dirty old sunflower seeds.
This is not the. This is like beef jerky of corn. You broke this off. I love corn.
But Children of the Corn, Stephen King movie. A lot of times Stephen King movies get fucked up in the translation, and this one's a little bit no different. So what happens is this asshole kind of doctorish guy and the mom from Terminator 2,
Linda Hamilton.
Yeah, are driving out in the middle of nowhere when he accidentally hits this kid, and it turns out that there's this whole town of fucked up kids who kills everybody over 18 and have this crazy religious debacle happening around them.
You know what the thing about this plot though? I've read the Children of the Corn movie. Well, not the movie. I read the Children of the Corn book.
How do you read a movie?
Because sometimes your eye says the story. No, but I've read the Stephen King novel. This plot, the way that they did things, you can totally see, even if you've not even read the movie or read the book. I keep saying, if you've not even read the book before, you can see how, like, obviously they've left things out. This is as thin as O.J. Simpson's fucking testimony. But anyway, no offense.
You must have quit.
But yeah, I mean, the movie overall, it just feels like there's a lot of, like, incandescent stuff going on. There's a lot of, like, I don't know, the plot goes here, it goes there, it goes up and down. It's just not, there's no consistency to the plot as far as I think. The climax is too early, sometimes it's too late, sometimes it doesn't even happen. You're waiting for it to happen. And then there's some stupid shit that happens, like, apparently Linda Hamilton is engaged or a boyfriend, girlfriend with Rick Springfield. What's Jesse's girl's like?
Linda Hamilton though, right? Linda Hamilton's in this movie. In this, she's supposed to be fucking useless.
Yeah,
and you're like, that's Linda Hamilton. She could bust some shit up if she wanted to, especially these little fucking kids.
Yeah, especially if you see her in T2, she's like, how's the knee? Like, doing chin-ups and shit. You're like, that bitch can fucking fuck me up anytime.
From the beginning of the movie, the setup in the coffee shop, which, spoiler alert, this movie's been out for a long fucking time, but in the coffee shop, that is freaky. And
that was awesome.
You could see, like, that's one of the scenes where I think this movie could use a remake, because every time shit would get gnarly and there could be something gross happening, they cut away from the action. It was like it was made for TV. They cut away from the gore and stuff like that, which sometimes adds the creepiness, but it doesn't in this.
Was it because during that time they didn't want to show children killing?
Maybe it was the children thing.
That might be it.
But yeah, in that shop though, I'm just saying, that one scene in that shop is really good and it's really disturbing and it's a great way to kick off the movie. And I thought the movie was actually really good all the way up until they found the town in the middle of nowhere. Because you think you got the scene in the coffee shop or whatever, and like all these kids just massacring people. It's fucking scary if you think about it.
Well, I know that little boy, that Joby, didn't go in there just to have a Sunday strawberry shake. He went in there to have a Sunday strawberry milk blood.
I like that his name was Dobie, like Anchorman 2.
Joby.
No, his name's Dobie.
No, it's Joby.
It's Dobie.
No, it's Joe.
Dobie.
I swear to God, his name's Joe. They call him Joby. I had it on subtitles.
Whatever, he's the shark from Anchorman 2. The point what I'm trying to make is that scene is cool, and then you got this kid that draws these fucked up pictures, and then they're driving out in the middle of the cornfield, and this kid who gets his throat cut in the middle of the thing, that was cool. Again, they cut away from the action, which sucked, but he shows up in the middle of the road and they hit him, and that scene was really cool and freaky, because they're in the middle of nowhere, and they got this dead kid there, and he's a doctor, so I like that he noticed his throat was cut, because he's like, go back to the car, there's something seriously wrong here.
Yeah, but you know what I didn't like?
That was good.
You could tell that this is the director's first movie, because when he rolled the bodies over, he's like, oh gosh darn. Like when but you could tell that the director didn't know exactly how to do it, because when he rolls the body over, the body is rolled over on the pavement, but when the camera cuts back, he's faced out again. It's like, he's alive! And then there's some parts of it that doesn't make sense, like when they're driving through the cornfield towards Gation or whatever the town town is called. It's like they're like, what was that? It's like, I swear to God, my golf club's in the trunk. Like it kind of made it set it up to seem like that was gonna be the body was still alive.
Yeah,
and that's what I thought. I thought the corn was magically bringing him back to life. Who doesn't love corn?
It was corny.
Boom. No pun intended.
But yeah, and then the scene where she goes back to the car and like, okay, this shit's going on. This dead body's in the middle of the road. You just hit a dead body. You're freaked out. Maybe she's concussed a little bit, but the bitch goes to sleep.
And then let's talk about the little kids, Maleckai and Isaac, who are the main focus point of this movie as far as the leaders of the children cult. And by the way, this is going to happen. This children cult will exist one day if people don't get the fuck off Kardashian's tits.
Led by Kim Davis.
No, it's led by Kardashian or Kim Davis, both of them, in conjunction. Kim Kardashian will be fucking Isaac, and then fucking Kim Davis will be Maleckai. Kill for him. Isaac and Maleckai, the two actors that played those guys, they actually did pretty well with those parts. I mean, I wasn't overly impressed with them, but for the most part, they did pretty well. Maleckai, he looks like a fucking Carrot Top. He looked like a young Carrot Top.
He was perfect, dude, because he's annoying as fuck. He looks like the Shermanator. He's got those teeth.
I said the same thing.
You just want to be like, I hate your face, Maleckai.
Sure.
Shaka Khan.
Isaac, Shaka Khan. Isaac, Mike and I actually thought like he looks like he was like 35 in the role of a 12-year-old. I don't know if that was just his face, but something was about him that. But when he gets like put up on the corn husk or the corn cross, he goes, no, no.
When he starts screaming, like,
I know. And by the way, the special effects, I guess that cost about $1.50 to $2 at Dollar General. The only part that looked good was when they dressed up Isaac as the incarnation of this demon or whatever he was supposed to be.
Well, all of a sudden shit just goes haywire. First off, I like the movie up to the point where they got to the town, because then it just got sleepy and boring. Like sometimes Stephen King movies do, they get dreary a little bit, and it did that in that scene because it's like, okay, everything's going good. We get to this town, and it's like an hour of us just searching through shit. Like, what's in this drawer?
Dude,
what's over here?
And
I got bored as fuck.
Did you not notice Rick Springfield, meaning the main lead in this movie, the male?
Yeah.
I just think he looked like, look at his fluffed hair. But he was running in the town. He's looking for his wife at first, and then all of a sudden he gets sidetracked and walks into a church. He's like, let's talk about the medical reasons about what you're doing drinking blood.
That kid
I was like, how the, I'm saying, well, why the fuck, you're looking for your wife. You saw Sarah's pictures that she's obviously in the cornfield somewhere. You run from the house, and all of a sudden you wind up in a church talking about the medical problems with drinking blood.
I like that scene though.
It was a good scene, but it made no sense.
He looked like Tom Cruise from Legend.
Amos.
Have you seen the unicorns in the field?
Yeah, but I mean, do you know what I mean? Like, it made no sense. Like,
yeah,
you're looking for your wife.
I agree with you completely. That whole scene, once they got to town, the whole movie went caboodle.
Did you feel like when they ran in the middle of the street and they were all chasing him, he was like, Outlander! I felt like it was going to be like West Side Story.
I was waiting on Sean Connery to pop up.
I know, but he had that pipe and he was like, I'm serious. I'm serious.
They at least did play that well, because just like with Chucky in these movies, it's like, they're fucking kids, dude. I would just fucking kick them in their faces.
He did. He beat the shit out finally.
Very end of the movie, they're like, we'll just adopt these two kids we found. Okay, why not?
How about for a week? Yeah. Okay.
Maybe
how about for a month? No.
Fuck you. No, but they get in the car and like the little chick pops out and it's supposed to be this final scare or whatever, but it's so stupid because then they're like, let's just leave her here, okay. And then the most awkward fucking ending ever, it was just like, the end. And they're just like walking back to the car.
You know what I thought?
It was like a parody.
Yeah, it did. It felt like an SNL ending.
Yeah.
But you know the thing, the dialogue again, he was like, oh no, well great, she's knocked out cold. What are we supposed to do? She's like, let's send her a car from Seattle. Let's get out of here. And then they walk away, and then you're right, there's no music, there's nothing, there's just the end. You know what I felt like? I felt like the executive producer ran down from the studio at that very second, was like, well, we just ran out of money. Yeah, and he's like, okay, just keep filming. He's like, we'll put the track in later.
So bottom line for me, you're gonna surprise you a little bit. I give this a 6.0. I give it a positive score. Because the reason I give it a 6.0 is because it's a great story. It's a great idea, and even though the movie didn't come up with the story, Stephen King came up with the story. I love the story. I love the first scene. I love the movie all the way up until they found the town. I thought the scenes in the middle of the corn, even though they're cheap and terrible looking sometimes, were with these creepy kids, and the scenes in the church were actually creepy and disturbing, and I love the idea behind the movie. I love the music, even though it's a total John Carpenter ripoff. Yep. The entire soundtrack is a John Carpenter ripoff. I like this movie for its reasons, even though it's terrible, so I give it a 6.0.
Talking about all these children in this fucked up corn. It'd be funny if he's like, hey! I'm gonna give this movie a 4.5. I mean, it's almost an average movie for me. I mean, if you're gonna go for a Halloween bash, you could include it if you want to, and just pass it over if you need to, because it's not really one of those things I would suggest to watch for a Halloween lineup. I love Stephen King. He's one of my favorite authors of time. I've read every book that he's done. There is a lot of things that for some reason, I know he writes really deep and can just a ton of shit information into his books, so maybe that's hard to translate, but this had no excuse. This was such such a fucking quick dollar kind of movie. It felt like that they didn't even take the time to really explore the characters, to really explore what he was talking about, the devil and the fucking demons, and those were possessing kids and all that stuff. I think that it could have been an amazing film. I just felt like at the end of the day, I think it was cheesy, I think it was corny, I think it was overused, I think the dialogue was crap.
Would you want, if it was done well with studio backing, a big budget, not big budget, but a for real, not straight to DVD remake of this movie? Because this is one of those movies that could use a remake, because it's a great story and it's never been told the right way. For me, I'd love to see them remake this and take it seriously and make it rated R.
I would totally see it. A Children of the Corn remake would, if they had the right budgeting and they were going to give it the actual treatment they needed to give it, totally.
I'm Mike, he's Jay. Click that subscribe button, get some warmth in you. Make sure you check out the rest of our Halloween month videos. We'll be doing it all fucking month long.
Outlander, subscribe button you must click. For clicking the button will give us subscribes.
We watched a movie. Yeah. We watched a movie.